My name is John. I'm a retired police officer and a certified crisis intervention specialist. Since 2016, I've gone around training churches, church staff and volunteers, conflict de-escalation, and today my team and I travel around the country conducting very dynamic, realistic conflict de-escalation training seminars. And now, not just for churches, but we also train and work with businesses and corporations, state agencies, and law enforcement. Now, I put together a book based on my training seminars for church staff and volunteers, A Gentle Response, Conflict De-escalation with the Ministry Mindset. And the name comes from the Message translation of Proverbs 15, verse 1, a gentle response diffuses anger. A gentle response diffuses anger. Folks, I've seen that work. I've seen it happen. Are there guarantees? Absolutely not, because you ought to know by now that dealing with human beings can be very dynamic and very fluid. Now, in Matthew, it's written that blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be known as the sons of God, or be called the children of God, depending on the translation you look at. And I strongly believe that if you want to be considered a peacemaker, a child of God, if you consider yourself or fancy yourself a peacemaker and a child of God, then you've really got to have a good grasp of some basic conflict de-escalation concepts and techniques. Now, when I made that comment on my social media about this time last year, an individual wrote back and responded and said, wrong, ministry goes out the window until that person is subdued or removed from the property. Folks, that type of heavy-handed, very aggressive, non-yielding type of attitude, I believe, greatly played into this tragic event at a church in Mississippi in April 2023, when a church safety security volunteer felt the need to punch a man, then shoot him in the back, and then kick him in the head. And now that church safety security volunteer is facing murder charges on a situation, based on everything that I've read so far, could have absolutely been totally mitigated and avoided if some basic conflict de-escalation concepts and techniques had been applied. All we had to do in that type of situation was engage the man in conversation, because all he had done wrong was try to walk back into the church after he had been escorted out. And I have not found anything that says that he was violent or threatened violence. Totally avoidable if someone had just used a gentle response to mitigate and avoid a situation from escalating. And there are way too many examples out there of good people meaning well who end up saying or doing things that escalate situations. A gentle response, conflict de-escalation with a ministry mindset. Now available on Amazon in ebook and paperback.